now call the Devils Lake City Commission meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Minutes of the regular city commission meeting held November 7th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Second by Commissioner Pierce. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion, okay, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Minutes of the regular city commission meeting held November 21st, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from
Commissioner-
meeting held on November 21st,
Commissioner
2020.
Pierce,
Second.
second by Commissioner Robbins. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No awards or proclamations. We have a public hearing scheduled for 5:30. Public hearing on Renaissance Zone block. If you had a chance to review it. Any questions regarding it? Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to speak on that? If not. Oops. Way out of here. Okay, if not, we'll close the hearing. And we'll move on to the recommendation of the Renaissance Authority. And I guess I'll read it here. The Devils Lake Renaissance Zone Authority reviewed requests for additional block to the city's Renaissance Zone. See attached. The RZA took action at their November 30th, 2022 meeting to recommend the city commission approve adding the block to the city's Renaissance Zone. Okay, you can scroll down and you can see the area that they're considering. Anybody have any questions?
Mike, is there a restrictive amount of blocks that can be used as Renaissance Zone, in a Renaissance Zone? Or are we getting capped out? Or
I'll answer that.
Yeah, that's it.
the other
So,
Mike?
we have this will be block number 42. Our limit currently is 44 and a half. So we still have 2.5 blocks available to us to expand to.
Okay. And typically, does it have to be contiguous, or like, say, could a person pop up someplace totally not adjacent to this?
So we are allowed 3 blocks that are not contiguous. And so one of the things that this will do is it'll bring one block that we do currently have that's not contiguous and make it part of the whole platform again. So that'll give us another opportunity down the road. If we want to make another 3 block section or up to the 2.5 that we have, we can make it non-contiguous. So this will bring everything back into one piece.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation from the Renaissance Zone Authority to add this block into the Renaissance Zone.
Do we have a motion to allow this block in? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Hatch, Commissioner. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have a public hearing on Renaissance Zone project. Let's see here. Scroll down here. This is public hearing on, okay, I gotta get back. I'm sorry, apologize. To the Devils Lake Renaissance Zone Authority reviewed a request for RZ project to purchase a building at 103 College Drive North to renovate, vacate office space and retain the 3 current rented offices. See attached application. The RZA took action at their November 30th, 2022 meeting to recommend the city commission approve the RZ project BL-23. Any further on that, Rob?
Yeah, so what this is going to be is they're looking to purchase that building, which would be the qualification. It's the first red zone or Renaissance zone project that we've had where it's just been a purchase. Generally, there's going to be some sort of rehabilitation that's done or improvement that's done to the property. Currently, our plan does not allow for us to deviate or to negotiate any reduced rates with that. So that will be something that the Renaissance Zone Authority will be looking at down the road. But this fell within the guidelines of our plan and recommend approval.
And that's for, like it says, the chiropractic clinic to
Correct.
expand.
Yes.
Well, I'll close the public hearing on that first of all. So unless there's somebody here that would wish to speak to it.
Mayor,
Brad? Yes.
You know, it is.
Brad, could you please come to the microphone, please?
The project, if you notice, is additional employees and retaining a business. That was one of the other criteria that really seemed important to the committee and to economic development. And they were using one of the programs that is an economic development tool for any type of businesses, which is another good thing as well. So all of those were factors that went into the committee making the decision.
Well, thank you. Okay. Well, the hearing's closed and there is a recommendation to approve this. What's the wishes of the commission?
I recommend approval of the Renaissance Zone Authority's.
We have a Commissioner Pierce make a motion,
No.
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Next item. We have visitors and delegations, and we have members of the Ramsey County Fair Foundation here today. And I'll call on Margaret, and I'll let her introduce herself at the podium. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm Margaret Kavalivog, and I am here on behalf of the Fair Foundation and the Ramsey County Fair Board. So good evening. Thank you for allowing us the time to get on the agenda. And what we wanted to do tonight is just give you an overview of our project and then also propose any support that the city would be able to offer, recommendations on support that you could give us in regards to that. So as you have reviewed from the information that was provided to you, the Ramsey County Fair Foundation is building a multi-purpose event center, an all-seasons event center. And funds for this project are being obtained through public and private partnerships by leveraging federal dollars and raising funds from individuals and corporations. The foundation is a 501c3 organization, which makes the sponsorships tax deductible. The building will be attached to the current event center and will focus on providing space for new, growing, and existing events and programs through all seasons. Review of the brochure that we provided shows a list of numerous current and potential activities that are to be held at the building. Some notable events include, but are not limited to, professional rodeo that we host annually that draws national recognition through RFD TV and the Cowboy Channel television airing. We have numerous 4-H youth activities such as shooting sports and archery, farmers market, auction sales, safety training and awareness events. That was one that came up where they would be able to do training throughout the year and have continual training rather than to try to cram that into 3 seasons with the rural fire department, along with like EMTs or any police or anything like that, with needing a large space available. Community-focused events such as steak fries, concerts, comedian acts, and then Ramsey County Roundup was another thing that we had proposed due to the space and the parking available of a potential activity that could be held there. So all of these and all of those noted require sizable space and parking, which the center does offer. In addition, phase 2 of this project down the road would be to entertain adding additional space to house the extension office and add additional breakout rooms. And the Fair Foundation has been researching this project for quite some time. The current rental facility is almost paid off. And with the demonstrated need for a larger facility, we have committed to making this happen. The building proposed will be 150 wide by 250 long with an estimated cost of $2.3 million. The bid package will be advertised early this spring, late January, early February of 2023. We have received $1 million commitment from Ramsey County, and we have applied for the Otto Bremer grant, which is a request of $500,000. We are currently working on applying for grant funds through the USDA, Inglestead, CHS, and several rural electrical cooperatives. The foundation has engaged a consultant through Strengthen ND to help with the grant processes and to assess the center's impacts, both economic and community impacts. We have kicked off our capital campaign, and that includes fundraising letters sent to 4-H alumni, local businesses, and private individuals. Within those letters is an outline of our tiered donation levels and naming rights on the building. And we have already seen commitments of funds over 5 to 10 year terms, totaling $20,000 in the short 2 months that we've been soliciting members. We recently hosted a community steak fry to create awareness among the public, and we raised almost $10,000 with that event. And other donations from local organizations have come in. The Ramsey Riders recently held a silent auction and donated the funds from that auction to the foundation. I don't have those final numbers in yet from that. But as noted earlier, the current building is nearly paid off, so that'll free up about $20,000 annually in loan payment proceeds. Also, we do receive $1 million from Ramsey County under the North Dakota Century Code, and that totals just over $60,000 annually. So additionally, proceeds from the current and potential rental events will continue to fund this project. Early projections anticipate that nearly 10,000 people will gather and engage in the event center annually. And currently we bring in with the existing structure about $10,000 in annual rent from the existing center. So the project itself will be an excellent resource for the community, and we will have beneficial economic impact with the events that it draws in. And so that is an overview of the project itself. And again, we graciously request support as the commission deems appropriate to promote our project within the community. So any questions related to the information provided?
Are you gonna have stadium seating in it? Or?
Yes, so we don't have a current outline of the inside of the building, but what's being proposed is a main portion of that will be a dirt arena. And then we'll also have the snap out flooring that you can lay over that to cover part of the dirt proceeds. So if you want to use it for more of a event type organization rather than an agricultural or livestock focused event. And then it will have concrete approximately 30 to 40 feet on one side of it with bleachers that kind of extend out and then extend back in. So then there'll be area there that has concrete floor with bathrooms. And then above the bathrooms, we have a walkway with additional storage. And then a couple of rooms off to the side for storage or training or what have you. And then that'll be attached to the existing, a breezeway will just attach to the existing center to the larger building.
Another proposed use of it, the Ramsey County Fire Department is looking at maybe using it for training facilities in the wintertime for different events. So they're kind of looking into that to see if that would be capable of doing that inside the new center. So there's
Would the rodeo be moved out there too? Is that the intent behind it?
Yes, so currently right now, so we did have a huge success. The last 2 years, we've been able to bring the professional rodeo in, and that's a little bit outside of what normally comes to Devil's Lake as a novice or an amateur rodeo. This rodeo circuit is the one involved with the people that go and compete at Las Vegas for the NFR.
this is
And
separate
that's
from the.
Or it'd be a different
This is
one
separate
too?
from.
separate
the-
from,
Oh,
yes. But, and
Abraham.
we could actually act in tandem with the rodeo club to have it
only
hosted.
because
as
they
their-
gotta go through a lot of
Right.
painful work to get dirt in there.
Right, yeah,
And
in and out.
expense.
But it does draw in a lot of people, and I know, as everybody knows around here, you have to fight the elements of the weather. So anything that you can move inside or not have to cancel because of a rainstorm or snowstorm or what have you is beneficial.
And there was talks also of, if I'm correct, on trying to combine and talk with the fair we have every year in July
Mhm.
and kind of incorporate the event center into that, the fairgrounds out there somehow into it. So.
I think it'd be outstanding if a guy can pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, so support as in, is there a number or anything like that? Anybody had a thought, or is it just?
well, we had recently, we were proposing it against what was approved for the Park Board Family Entertainment Center of 250,000. But again, that would be up to what you deem appropriate and what you could support.
Spencer, you want to say something?
Yeah, Mayor, Mo, members of the commission, I would just, at least with this, the first conversation here, like it was mentioned as the event center here that we recently had a conversation on the last commission meeting, as really an introduction to the project. And in the interim, maybe prior to them, maybe in a month or so coming to a future meeting, we can work together on maybe a formal arrangement and see what possible gaps they might have in what they know that they're operating on, if there is a way that the city could possibly sponsor something. And like with the event center, I'm usually a fan as far as fiscal safety for the city, obligating and allocating later on, once the project reaches a certain threshold and that it's imminent, it's going to be complete. And I also think too, just for the cities, and this is why being a city commissioner is really hard, because certainly a rising tide lifts all boats, and big projects that happen out in the Lake region benefit the city. But as the city of Devils Lake, right, everything that happens in the city of Devils Lake is in Ramsey County, but not everything that happens in Ramsey County is in the city of Devils Lake. So what's the city's proper role? And that's a really hard question to ask, and that's why being a city commissioner is really hard. And so I think having the applicant come here and giving you guys a good briefing of the project, and I would recommend further engaging in the interim for them to possibly come at a future meeting with a more formal and laid out plan as far as an ask and what we can think administratively we could work with them on something that would benefit both parties to the level of risk and support that they're willing to agree upon.
I was going to suggest the same thing as well, as Spencer did. I have seen the use, and there's a lot of use of that event center that people in the city do not see. And it's used a lot throughout the year. But coming back with a more drawn out, this is what we would like, this is where we're at, that would be much more, help for us to come up with that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're finalizing our pro forma operational budget for the Otto Bremer Trust, our Otto Bremer grant that we applied for, that was submitted. And so we should have indication too of any awarded funds with that, probably the first part of March, maybe end of February. So we could definitely come back, as we get further along the process and formalize an official ask, and then have you see the supported funds as they grow. Like I said, we've raised almost $40,000 in the 2 months that we've been actively pursuing it, and the interest and the public perception has
amazing.
really
That's-
been there for it. So I don't think that it'll be a problem getting the shovels in the dirt.
Has there been any more, is there been any more action on, at the meeting, we're talking about the Nodak Electric in Minn Kota? Has there been any more action on that, or are you guys still in the planning process?
Yeah, we wanted to finalize the Otto Bremer grant fund application, which was due December 1st. That's been submitted. And so then now that we have everything within that, we can take that and apply it across. So we have contacts and application forms and current communication between the other grant sources. The USDA one, I know that has been submitted as well, but I believe there was some shortage of funds there. I think they have 300,000 to facilitate around the entire state of North Dakota, where I thought there was more previously. So, but yeah, we keep our eyes and ears open. So again, too, if the city knows of anything that we can access
And they were
to
asking,
support that request.
maybe that if Fort Devils Lake could get involved in the conversation somehow, and see, what could be available, just to touch base. And
Have you followed what Frostfire has done up in Cavalier?
No, I'm not.
Frostfire has gone to the
Okay.
state. The state's provided some funds as well. So I'll try to provide some information on that.
thank you.
There's a couple pipelines. I know when I was in the curling club fundraising, I think there's Reliance, and I think they give us $10,000 each. CHS was a good one.
Yeah, CHS, they're going to.
We do have that one listed down. We're working with CHS.
No.
Reliance or Alliance, might have been Alliance. I can't remember
Okay.
which one it was, but there's a couple pipelines.
What impressed me when I said at the last meeting is how much research and work you've done to look for those grants and look for the donations and sponsorships. And I don't think a lot of people take that much time and effort, and I want to applaud you for that because that's amazing what you guys have done. So
Yeah, we've been
Mhm.
after this for quite some time, so.
Well, it sounds like a great center. I think it's exciting. You know, we've got a lot of good things kind of happening in our community right now. And
Right.
unfortunately, they all cost a lot of money. You know, we'd love to support them all 100% if we could, but unfortunately, we got to
Stretch the dollars a bit.
follow some guidelines too. But yeah, sure appreciate what you propose here is exciting for sure. And it's nice to have facilities like that to be able to count on.
please come back though.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely will. Thank
But I
you.
thank you for your time and coming here.
Yep.
Appreciate what you're doing. Okay. Let's see, next. We'll go to commissioner portfolios and I'll start with Commissioner Pierce.
Hey, Mayor, start with Chief Bennett here.
No, we had 6 guys last week down at Williston doing a hazmat tech class. We should know in 2 to 3 weeks how the results of the written test went, but they passed all their practicals, no problem. We're currently hosting and instructing a Fire Instructor 1 class for 7 people regionally, so that's what we got going on at the fire department.
And we're still working on the ARPA mission, going through different things and researching numbers and
Oh, the ARF.
ARF. Sorry,
ARF.
why did I say ARPA?
Okay.
Yeah, the ARF.
Yeah.
The ARF. I got
Air
ARPA on the
rescue.
brain.
Okay,
Yeah, the ARF mission.
okay.
So I'm going to meet again with the chief this week and keep pushing to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and before we come with a big presentation. So.
Keep me in the loop.
And then I did attend, I emailed a list of notes from the meeting for the Ramsey County Fair Board that I attended on November, I think it was the 22nd. They ordered a new sign through Extreme Signs and Graphics for out there to display. And they're looking at what it might cost to insure that sign, see if it's even possible or if it's even feasible to protect
Are they
the sign.
under the state's, would the state cover that, being they're part of the county? Reserve, insurance reserve,
I'll bring that up at the next meeting because I figure
or I don't know.
they're also going to be looking to replace the furnace. The furnace is going out, is what they were told from Clements Roods. They questioned whether there was still a warranty because it was still pretty new. So they're going to check into that to make sure there wasn't a warranty in effect, that they could get that taken care of. They're going to order more trees out there for next year. They put some in this year, and they're going to continue to plant out there.
How much
to
property
beautify
do they
them.
have out there?
Off the top of my head, sir, I didn't tell you, Mayor, off the top of my head. But it's
Must be a
it's a
large
nice
area.
stretch. It's a nice stretch. They're also looking into maybe once this new building's up to put in some camping camper spots out there with just electric, no big amenities, but just for more use of it for people that are coming into the rodeos and all the 4-H events and everything. If they wanted to camp out there for the weekend, they could do that. So that's a good thing.
All these trailers have living quarters in them.
Right now, they have a pickup and drop off location for the courthouse for the key. Before, it was just kind of different ways. People would just show up and get the keys to get in there if they're renting the building. They're looking into whether that's, they have it at the courthouse, if they're going to keep that system or if they're going to have some kind of a drop off box or something like that to put in effect to make it easier. The new Ramsey County Fair Board website is up. RamseyCountyFairboard.org, where they have a fillable PDF for reservations out there. And they have it working now where all the reservations, the emails, and in the calendar all communicate with each other. So if they put in a request, it's automatically going to show up on the calendar. Try to streamline it to make it more accessible for people that want to rent the building for different events out there. Like she said, they did their steak fry was $9,449.62 they raised this year. With you have to take out the $2,500 in expenses that they had for that. But the next meeting is December 13th at 5:30 out at the event center, and I'll be attending that one as well. Other than that, Mayor, if you have any questions, that's all I
No.
have.
Thank you for the update. Appreciate it. Okay. Commissioner Robbins.
Mike, anything under streets?
Nothing under streets, Commissioner.
Engineering?
Questions, me. Under engineering, there's a new heating system that was installed out at the shop. A new boiler and 2 hanging unit heaters. We're going through a punch list of items with the contractor at this point, and then that system will be finalized. And so that's just a little update for the commission, what's going on out at Public Works.
All right, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Well-
Okay, you're still up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, with them coming, not realizing what they're gonna be asking for, I spoke to Brad earlier. Last meeting, we talked a little bit about the park board's project that they're looking at doing out at the old Wally's building. I asked the park board to visit with Forward Devils Lake to see if there's any funds available through Forward Devils Lake. Just looking, if nothing else, for a head nod, or it doesn't have to be formal necessarily. But would we be in favor of the park board approaching Forward Devils Lake for some support financially for their project? I was thinking I'd ask for a letter of recommendation, but just nothing else, just a yay, nay, good, bad, indifferent is all I'm looking for. But this one was new to me. This is kind of made me waffle on whether I should even bring it up or
It
not.
kind of made me too. I'm thinking that this program would fit better under what maybe Brad
They'd
is.
already asked for it. It was like $3.
I did not know that
I
either.
didn't know that
was-
either. They didn't tell me they did that.
Just about every organization in the community
Yeah,
has, all true, CHI, their foundations. In the time that I've been here, we've gotten that request. They got to be prior to that. When I got here, the guidance was, Devil's Lake doesn't do that. I hate to say it that way, but that's
Yeah.
basically the board that I had when I first got here. Over the time frame, I've talked with various commissioners and previous mayor, and that was kind of reinforced. But yes, we've gotten the same type of request, haven't had a formal presentation. We do have the first part of January, we've got a meeting the first week of January. I don't know if we're going to be meeting there for it was like, or the third Wednesday. So we'll potentially talk about the event center.
Did they come to a meeting or just visit with yourself then?
It was a letter request.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then,
most of them are letter requests that are at, and I don't want to say they're blanket type of mailings, but that's probably in many
And
cases, that's what it
has
is.
the board reviewed that one already type of thing for the 4-H? Has that one been reviewed by the Forward Devils Lake Board at all?
We talked, but no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
President Mo, members of the commission, I would also I would think of, I think about how Forward Devils Lake is funded, at least from the city's perspective. We send about $70,000 at least this year their way of sales tax money for their operations, as well as I believe it's 3 mills in the neighborhood of about $55,000. And also, what Forward Devils Lake does is they recommend the use of the growth fund dollars, city sales tax dollars that comes in. And so, when, if you're recommending, hey, approach Forward Devils Lake and they can financially support a project, really it's city money, right? And you have to think if the growth fund dollars are expended to help support a project, at the end of the day, Forward Devils Lake can go to their board and then they recommend to the city commission. And so if the city wants to see Forward Devils Lake support something, at the end of the day, it's going to come back to the city of Devils Lake to either give the thumbs up or thumbs down. And the city has shown their support for these projects financially out of other places, right? And past city commissions and mayors have allocated this growth fund dollar specifically for the primary sector investments that help grow jobs or help supporting those primary sectors like daycare, right? I forget who said it, but daycare, the one industry that allows all the other industries to operate functionally. And so I would encourage you to view it that way. And in talking with Brad since I arrived, just as far as the administration of the growth fund and as well as Forward Devils Lake's finances, we've had a lot of conversations on how we can make those more sustainable and intuitive. And I think it goes on to the further conversation of the role of each organizations, both of them, Forward Devils Lake and the city. And sometimes I feel like there might be, I don't want to say a misunderstanding or not an aligned vision as to what the mission for each organization is. And I think we could benefit from having that conversation in real good detail at a future meeting. As far as, whose money is whose and what's recommending to what and why, where and when. And so
when the part or the fair board mentioned Forward Devils Lake to me in the meeting, it wasn't my intention. I didn't tell them to go ask for money. I said maybe they have some education on where to send you some information to help.
Mhm.
And that's what my point was for them to come talk, because maybe you could lead them in the right direction. It wasn't that they were going to ask for money from Forward Devils Lake. It was just more of an informative, hey, do you have any ideas that we could follow through to, or connections that we could talk?
Well, in my time, we flexed, just as you have a new makeup and a new mayor, every couple of years every year we have a new president of Forward Devils Lake, and we have board members coming off and we have board members coming on. So it's flexed in the time that, that I've been here. When I first got here, it was primary sector only. No money goes to anybody other than primary sector. Well, the more I spent time statewide and coming back to board meetings saying, childcare, we've got to do something. And then we had a major issue with Sunnyside saying they were going to go out of business, and we were getting calls from business and industry. What are you going to do about childcare? We got into childcare, and we've put, we financed the last two that are there. Lake Region, their little Gosling Center is financed through a flex-based loan done by Forward Devils Lake. Holly's gotten development dollars to help keep her center going. The newest one, I don't know what, Joyful Beginnings is what it is, Margie Green, for Margie Brzezinski, with the racquetball center. They've got some funding from us as well as North Central Planning has done that. So we flex, I think, is in time. I think that's all good economic development organizations do. And this is by no means out of the realm of economic development, bringing people to the community. We're about sales tax revenue. I mean, that's been our growth.
Yeah, because they did mention that, we bring people out here for these events, and then where the hotels are going to be staying at are in the city. The restaurants they're going to go to is in the city, But I just said, just see if there's any avenues that they could lead you into. Or
Frostfire, Frostfire, that facility up there for skiing. How many of you ski? I mean, I've never done it. I've
Used
been
to.
there. I partied there. There's
Yeah.
been parties and other events, so they can use it as event center. They've expanded. They went to the legislature for dollars to help that. It's continual. It's expensive too. It's a very expensive process.
And their main purpose is not to be, it's from what I can assume from the meeting that I had last meeting, is not for asking for money from the city. It's, they want to be able to raise this and do this with grants and loans.
We're getting to the point, depending on the board at the time, the recommendation from Forward Devils Lake, once we recommend, it comes to you. You make that decision, right? And so, Dale, or Commissioner Robbins, I think, to do and have a better community, we have to have these facilities. And how we fund them is, they're all a little bit different. They're all a little bit more expensive. Well, they're all more expensive today than they were 10, 15 years ago for sure. So, yeah.
Well, and like I say, I just wanted to make sure that that the communication was held. Like I think I visited with Spencer. Spencer had told me that when it boils out, it's the city's money, and if you feel that the commission wants to take some money out of the growth fund and contribute it to the park board, you could certainly do that. In my mind, I would rather to flesh it out, get everybody's input, maybe have the Forward Devils Lake look at it, see what they think, and then if they have strong arguments or reasons why they'd rather not do that, listen to it type of thing. But I just don't want to go and say, hey, we're going to do this and then not listen to anybody else type of thing. So that's the only reason I wanted to maybe confront yourself and make it spoken out loud that I'm in favor of it. I don't know if anybody else is, but, and then let you guys decide if there's a number or no number, whatever the case might be.
And recommend once again to you all.
Yeah, just-
from that growth fund.
It might be the
Yeah.
cart in front of the horse or vice versa, however you want to say it, but I wouldn't feel comfortable just saying, hey, we're going to do this and we don't care what you guys say.
There's pieces of it that really make even more sense, Commissioner, and since the time that we've talked over it, childcare, to be able to use the facility, to encourage one and to help create, that type of an activity that's available there. I'm not sure if today you can drop your kid off and spend time working out. So those type of things would be a good way for economic development to engage, to provide a service that accentuates the capabilities we have currently.
Yeah, and like I say, I was just no formal action. Initially, I was thinking let's write a letter, but I just wanted to say it out loud and see what
Currently,
anybody else thought.
it'll be the 4th or I think the 19th. One of those two meetings we'll get together and we have Josh coming in to forward the Devil's Lake meeting and we'll talk about it.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's all I have now.
Okay, oh, good stuff. All right, Commissioner Hatch.
Mike, anything from sanitation?
Nothing under sanitation tonight, Commissioner.
Rob?
Just the Renaissance Zone. That's all we have.
Coming up to.
How's your training coming along?
Good.
Still, you're not tired of it yet?
I
At
got
the
100
last meeting, I
hours
was
to go
pretty
yet,
impressed. He had a lot of his lingo down already, so it's.
Yeah.
I think he's a horse that wants to get out of the gate. and get going.
Yeah. It's like, wow, okay.
Good job, anyway.
That it?
That's it.
Commissioner Hammer's portfolio. Let's see. Help me out here. What do we got?
Nothing under
Mike,
utilities, Mayor.
Nothing?
Nothing under utilities for tonight, Mayor.
Okay, good. That's it? No engineer lingo tonight? Okay, well, that's enough.
Don't encourage him.
Okay. All right. Well, Chief,
I got nothing for you.
nothing. All right. Good deal. Hey, Spencer?
Just real quick, next meeting, we'll have rates and fees before you as well as a full-fledged financial update. Regrettably, we haven't been able to give them as frequent as we would like for you guys, but we've been working hard and overcoming a few hiccups. And so we've set the ultimatum and it's imminent. And so next week you're going to get one.
Thanks for the budget report or the
Yeah, thank
budget
you.
for the years.
And then just a quick update on healthcare initiatives. Just been speaking with Essentia and some of their consultants on research and design and development and just kind of loosely looking at their site plan and loosely talking about, the potential down the road to be getting into a development agreement with them. And so just wanted to let you know that those conversations are happening. And if there's something that, administratively and Essentia and their representatives are able to at least come to agreement on, loose agreement on some terms, we'll have that before you guys for your consideration and oversight and review at future meetings. So just want to let you know those conversations are happening. And then lastly, Mayor Mo and I are going out. We'll be in Bismarck on Wednesday this week for the North Dakota League of Cities Legislative Workshop, as the governor's going to be giving his opening address and budget. And I think everybody's going to be in town, so we'll be there representing the city of Devil's Lake there with the League of Cities and a variety of other communities around the state. So,
Spencer, have you heard anything? I know the county commission's being invited. Didn't know if any of this pertained to any of us, but a meeting about orientation and discussion regarding justice system operations and the forthcoming legislative session. And it's on December 16th at the courthouse. Is there anything, does that pertain to us or just the county?
I myself have not received any of that correspondence. I don't know if any of, if the police department has in that regard. And so I would have to follow up on that. If you could just forward the email to me,
Absolutely.
I'd be happy to follow up.
Yep. I just didn't know if maybe that was just county stuff.
I anticipate it could be.
All right, thank you.
Is that it, Spencer?
Yes, sir.
Jack, have you got anything on the
Uh,
legal side of things?
Nothing new other than Pat Knudsen is retiring the municipal clerk.
Oh.
She's excellent, done a very good job. Those are big shoes to fill, and so that next hire and person will be pretty important.
Who does
She
the
really
hiring?
is- She really is excellent.
We coordinate with the, with
The
with the
judge?
judge. And so we have, all the applications will come here to the city and the judge and I think maybe a loose kind of group will interview as they work with a broader array of agencies. So definitely want to thank Pat for she's always just positive and smiling every day and
So when's your last day?
mid-January.
Oh, okay.
Mid-January. And so the close for the applications is here in the middle of December, and we'll get interviewing, and hopefully we have some good qualified applicants to consider, and we'll update you as that moves along.
All right. And I will get over and talk to you a little bit about what my input would be in some of that nuisance ordinance, just so you have some ideas what my thoughts were on some of that.
Yep, we got
I'll
some
do that
stuff
real
in the-
soon.
We got some stuff in the hopper, a few different areas, and then, with some, there's some issues with oversight, where, kind of too many cooks in the kitchen in some different, areas and departments, and so, we're working through that, and when I have some information, I'll do that. But yeah.
All right.
And
Anything else?
we're caught back up in city court,
Good.
which is good. We were behind and now we're caught back up with our review and drafting of complaints.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. We will move on to old business, which we have nothing tonight. Consent agenda. We have, is this for the members of the, do we have to take action on this? I
Yeah,
would
just,
think so.
I would just,
Okay, we have actionable, Renaissance Zone Authority took action at their meeting November 30th, 2022 to recommend reappointment of Sandy Shively and Barbara Britch as members of the Renaissance Zone Authority. Their terms will expire June 30th, 2026. And the Renaissance Zone Authority also acknowledges the city commission appointed the mayor, Jim Moe, as a member of the RZA. So I guess, Rob, has anything else on
The
that?
only other thing to add is that there is a vacant spot on the Renaissance Zone Authority. So we're going to be looking to solicit, try to get interest in taking that because there was one individual that did not re-up.
Okay. Okay, I guess what we're looking for is,
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation of reappointing Sandy and Barb to the RZA.
okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Robbins and second by Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. New business, we have a pay estimate number 5 for 2022 curb and gutter and sidewalk. Mike, I guess?
This is the final pay estimate for work completed under the city's concrete sidewalk curb gutter contract. Total amount of work completed is $70,307.74, less the previous payment. So total due this estimate is $22,264.15. Again, it's for work completed to date. It's been reviewed and approved. Recommend approval of the pay estimate.
A recommendation to approve this. What's the wishes of the commission?
I recommend a motion to pay for the curb and gutter
Commissioner Pierce, made motion,
work that's been completed.
Second.
second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Hash?
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
President Moe?
Aye. Motion carries. Any citizen comment? I don't see anybody out there. Okay, do we have a motion to pay the list of bills?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatch,
means we're done.
Commissioner Robbins. Okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Pierce? Aye. Commissioner Hash? Aye. Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
President Moe?
Aye. Motion passed. Anything else come before the commission tonight? If not, thank you for everything. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you all.